All right.
All right, guys, welcome to episode number 3, I believe. One, two, three. All right, here we are. What's up, Mitchell? How you doing today?
Yo, dude, loving it. October's the best month in my neck of the woods. October and March.
Yeah, I know. I think I have realized that I think fall is probably my favorite season. I know down in AZ, down in California where you're at, I love that down there too. But kind of the change of season is nice too, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that.
But just to take out spring for you, it's ball season and
I
oh,
know.
but then it started football though. So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. The bad thing about where we are now, it's just like fall is literally like 3 weeks, and that's about it. Because now
Yeah.
it's just like you're waiting for that first snow and you're trying to prolong that for as long as you can. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sweet, man. All right.
All right,
Well,
man.
let's go ahead and dive in. And I guess first thing that we'll talk about, we'll do a little like what's in the news. If you've been kind of living under a rock, you probably haven't heard much of any of this, but I kind of got something for you. Which one do you feel like is bigger news to you, or which one do you feel like is more important? And maybe neither one is, but we got Deion Sanders and the Buffs, or we got Kelsey and Swift. What do you think, man?
I I love it because well, actually, the Buffs like big time because I was reading into it. I love Dion, just what he's standing for, and his coaching philosophy and all that. And my wife and I have a heated debate about it all the time because she thinks he's doing it for himself and getting him out there. And it was like, he's got kids out there, and he's doing what's best for those kids, and he's putting them first. And totally into it, reading about it, listening to his pep talks and how he brought his mom out there and just it's just hilarious. It's good coaching. And so I'm all about that. The T Swift stuff I get upset about and I just like sift through it. And like I would rather hang out with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively in the box than even Kelsey's mom. I'd rather hang out with Kelsey's mom in the box
You
than
know, I
Taylor
saw
Swift.
her. Yeah, I don't know if you watched the Philly game this weekend, but she was sitting next to Jake from State Farm at the Philly game, and then you
So
got her sitting
awesome.
next to T Swift at the other game. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But going
Yeah.
off of Dion, like my one take on that is like, what did we expect? Like, do we not remember what kind of player he was? Like, he was pretty out there and in your face. Like, did we all just expect him to not be that same Dion as a coach? Like, and that's
Right.
that's the cool thing that I think. Like, he's being unapologetically himself. Like, that's just kind of like who he is. Now he is very in your face, so I can see how that can turn people off. But hey, man, if that's him, I don't know. That's just him, I guess.
Right. And as an 18-year-old kid, an 18-year-old male picking schools, do you want to go to a school that The Rock, Wheezy, Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg comes to your game and you have all these people on the sideline? Like, yeah, sweet. I've worked my butt off. I want something like that. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely gonna pull people in as far as recruiting goes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess as far as T Swift and Kelsey goes and everything, my biggest question is like, all right, when they get married, who's taking whose last name? That's what I want
Oh, geez.
to know.
Yeah.
Hey, they
I
can
but
do like
I've
a
heard
hyphenated thing or something like that if they want to, or maybe like Swift, Kelsey. But even so, whose name is going first?
oh, geez. I know. Come on. You're
Sorry.
more into it than I am. I haven't even
I
thought about that. I don't even
know.
want to think about it. It's nonsense.
Okay, right on. Okay, so sweet. Anyway, that's kind of the stuff in the news. Today's episode, we actually had this planned for last time that we talked, but we were too long-winded and got cut off. So we're gonna focus on your Iron Games that you participated in. So now this would be about what, 2 months ago or so.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, feels like a long time ago.
but anyway, like first off, for a lot of the people that are listening, maybe they've never participated in something like this. They don't know what the Iron Games is. Maybe they don't know what like a fitness competition entails or whatever. So just kind of paint broad picture of what it is that you signed up for, and then we'll kind
Um,
of go into
so
the, how it was for you.
fitness competitions are just like we do local CrossFit competitions, and you have three. Normally, it's about three workouts, and then if you're top five, then you get in the fourth workout, and then that can podium you or whatnot. So throughout the day, from about 8 to maybe 3 or 4, you're doing 4 workouts, and I mean going all out. Normally, they're about 10 minutes, 15 minutes a piece. So they're pretty short one day. But this Iron Games, it's a 3-day competition. So I was competing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, doing 2 or 3 events a day. So it's a little bit more rigorous, I guess you'd say, and more competitive. It's not just people from our local area. Like the ones in Havasu, we might get a couple Californians that drop in at boxes, but normally it's just people from Kingman, Havasu, and Fort Mojave. So this one is a little bit bigger, which is a little bit more nerve wracking, but yeah, that's what they are. Why I sign up for them?
Yeah, that's what was going to be
I
my
ask
next question.
myself,
So like,
I ask myself why.
yeah, like, okay,
'Cause it's
so
brutal.
it is. It's like you're putting yourself through a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, probably a little bit at times. I'm sure you probably question yourself in the middle of some of your workouts, like, what the heck did I get myself into? But, you know, why'd you do it? I mean, what, you're 42 now?
Yeah, yeah. Dude, age doesn't have anything to do with it. No,
Well, it's
but
got a little bit of something to do with it.
I mean, as like, I guess I've always signed up for things. Like when I was running, it was half marathons. I've done 6 of those and 5Ks anytime. And I guess really what that does is it holds me accountable, because like right now I've been doing CrossFit for over a decade, and it's like I like doing the workouts, and it's fun. And so I don't have a problem going to do that. But what I need to be held accountable for is my nutrition and the little things. And so the little things would be uh, having a couple beers, or
Mhm.
going out and staying out a little too late, or just kind of making some choices that I wouldn't really think about. But when you have a competition coming up, it's like, should I? I just don't drink, and so, or I don't. I'm not going to have all the cake, or I'm not going to have the extra sweets, or I'm not going to have that. So, really, it holds me accountable for my nutrition. And
Sure.
summertime, and then summertime, as a teacher, you don't have anything to do. So it's like, okay, so I could skip my workout. I could stay up late. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to go to work. And so I do a quick workout and then be like, all right, I'm done. And then I
Right.
what do I do? And this over the summer really held me accountable to doing 2 or 3 workouts a day. And so it kept me on my nutrition. It kept me going. It kept me focused on, I don't want to humiliate myself when I get up there.
Yeah, but you could have just backed out if you wanted to, right?
Yeah,
You're
like
like, well, I guess I didn't really train that hard. I'm backing out. No, but I
and
get it.
that's
Like, once you sign up, it's some people need that extra little added pressure, to be like, because it is, there's days that you don't really feel like working out. You don't really feel like, hitting your protein goal or whatever nutritionally you had, your goals were, and you need that little extra push to be like, all right, man, like this is what I have my eyes set on right here. That's my goal. Let's get it.
yeah. Like, so for you, you're fit. You eat right the majority of the 80-20. You're on
80
that.
20.
And so it's kind of like, what do you need? Like, what's your next goal? Like, what are
Right.
you pushing for? And why do you work out? And so it's just that gives me a reason and keeps me in check for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's also cool. Like we've talked about this before, is like always being fit and always being ready for whatever. So, it's just like, okay, all of a sudden you're scrolling on your phone and you see a fitness competition that's next weekend. I mean, if we're working out, if we're doing what we tell our clients to do on a day-to-day basis and fueling our bodies correctly, like we should be able to pick up and do, I don't want to say whatever we want, but everything that we want that's reasonable, something that
Yes.
is not too extreme.
Right. Oh, for
ready for
sure.
everything.
Yeah, I think right now, if I signed, I could finish a half marathon without walking and without like running, but I'm just in that shape. And I kind of always want that. I remember Jamie Smith at one time is like, Mitch, I wasn't running as much as I should. And I'm thinking that the only other person I know that could just hop in one of these is you. And I'm like, sweet, thanks, buddy. He paid my way. And I just ran that was one of the Vegas half marathons I ran, is because somebody wasn't in shape enough to do it. And at the last minute, he's like, I know you can do it. And it was like 15 minutes off my best time. So it was like, yeah, it wasn't my best time, but I knew that going in, that I haven't been running. I didn't put on the miles, but yes, we are in shape to do anything like that. But I wanted that extra of like, okay, I want to keep myself accountable, and I'm going to put in extra work over the summer.
All right, man. Let's actually talk about the actual event. So Iron Games. This was up in Utah somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Cedar.
Cedar City, Utah. So there's some elevation involved. First event was a long. It was they first said, okay, we're going to time cap it at an hour, but then they were like, okay, so if these people get done like push to finish it, these other people who don't necessarily push on that, they kind of get a break because they're capped and they don't have to finish all of it. So they're like, if you plan on podium, if you want a podium or be involved in this, you have to finish this whole workout. And it was 100 or 1K run, just a one big loop, 1K run. And then it was 300-foot sandbag carry, and the sandbag was 100 pounds. And then
Is that the one where you
run.
busted your lip on? Yeah, because
dude, I'm in the warm up area, right? This is before it even starts. Yeah. And that sandbag, I just clean it, and it's got a handle in the middle of it, and it comes up and busts my lip. And this is 15 minutes of warming up, and I go to the station, the aid station. And I'm like, you ever had anybody get injured before anything even starts? And she's like, oh, what'd you do? And blood just like dripping down my lip. It looked like I got punched. Yeah, it was brutal. But I'm just kind of like, okay, this is going to set the tone for the weekend. But no,
that would have been the perfect time to back out right there.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I had the excuse. I'm
injured.
Stitch me up. I'm going to the hospital. Yeah. So
that's funny.
No, workout was long. It ends up being 6,000 meters, and just people were finishing over an hour. Like some people were taking 2 hours on it, man.
Yeah. I mean, Utah in general, that I would say that's an underrated state. You know, I love Utah. So that's cool that it was there. But let's also talk about like, just like when it was all said and done. Like, obviously it's, a lot of people listening may have never been in a fitness competition, but what makes it so rewarding, at the end?
I mean, even before the end, like as you're competing, you have all these people just screaming for you and doing all this, and you're just pushing yourself to exertion, and you find out like you're much more capable of doing just what you think you're able to doing. When people are just screaming at you and you have people next to you doing the same thing, there isn't a bad person there. You know what I mean? Like going to watch these competitions, and it just, if you haven't been in one or been to one, I suggest go. Like even people who don't compete and they go to one, they're like, that's so much fun. Like just everybody around you is pumped up. It's just a good atmosphere. It gets you energized to do more yourself. So it's just a good atmosphere to be in. And then at the end of it, it's the sense of accomplishment, it's sweet.
I mean, physically, it's obviously taxing on the body, but I think with competitions like that and just signing up for events, like what it does for you mentally, because you find out that your body can do a lot more than maybe what you give it yourself credit for, and I know when I'm in the middle of like a tough workout or something like that, like mentally, I quit on myself about 10 times, and I have to continue to talk myself into it. Like, you got this. And you come to realize that your mind is going to quit way before your body does, and your body can handle more than what you think.